the early 80s, we went through somewhat of a distressful time. Our unemployment went up from 6% to 22%. Every other retail store in Cuba closed. One economist, Dr. Hensel from Rollo, said it looked like Rommel's retreat across North Africa during World War II. If we would have lost one more company, our largest employer would have been the welfare agency.
In the 50s, many communities like Cuba were dependent upon shoes. Factories moved out from St. Louis. But in the early 80s, more and more shoe companies were feeling the effect of imports. Cuba had 2 shoe factories close. One other factory actually substantially downsized.
We got caught in the switches of the shoe industry, manufacturing businesses related to the shoe industry, and the mining industry. And what happened is it imploded. It all fell apart at the exact same time. And suddenly, you had a community that was caught in the economic switches of the early 80s. And then if you can just back that up then with a memory of interest rates and finance, you can kind of see we had the perfect economic storm. What we were able to do is dedicate ourselves that the 80s would never happen again. So we set out with a specific plan. We decided to diversify our base. No longer would we be tied to 2 industries, mining and shoes. So therefore we started to cover the width and breadth of the economy and try to stay up with it.
We built a broad industrial base. For a town our size, we have a lot of different factories. They're a diversified types of factories, and we spread out our risks. And so we were prepared for downturns because we had a broad base. We weren't just dependent upon shoes or one sector. So I think this has helped us to work things through.
From 1985 to now, to get 20 new and expanding businesses in was quite a feat.
We actually had a plan. We actually had a written plan. We had a written plan for economics before the state of Missouri had a written plan. So we had a saying here in Cuba that if you can't write it down, you can't do it. So we were very sincere about it. We've been accused of saying that we made economics into a contact sport. Well, when you're at 21%, you're not playing around. So we were very serious, and you do that through planning, and you do that through good thought and getting the right people around the table. And that's what we did. We opened up our community and asked the best minds to come forward with the ideas. There were no bad ideas. There were just ideas. And we were able to take some of the better ideas and formulate those into our plan and move forward. So when somebody says, well, gee, they were sure lucky. No, there was no luck about it. I don't even like the term. It was planning.